Welcome to Roar Art Tutorial Takeover! emakidd Takeover! Well, we are in my new set I'm building. As you can see, it's the party room! So, for this tutorial of emakidd Roar Art Takeover tutorial session, I am going to show you how to make a collage. Ooh, for the Rock and Roll Death's House Fashion Time Corner, whatever I'm going to call it, collage wall. Anyways, so let me just show you some of the essentials real quick that you'll be needing. A couple of things I have in front of me. Construction paper. Great thing about Dollar Tree, it's $1 at Dollar Tree. All the products you see here are, actually, they were all $1 now that I think about it. So everything here costs you less than $10. This was free! Hey! Okay, anyways. Construction paper, just in case you want to get a little more creative. Magazines, of course. I also have some of these foil stars, markers, plain construction paper to use as my background, scissors, glue, and I also have some other types of colored paper. So that is all of the items that you would need to begin your collage. Now, step one is to gather up your magazines. One thing that I like to do is, if the actresses on the covers of the magazines are some of my favorite actresses, I'll hold on to it and kind of incorporate it into the collage, and like I did with this, I put it on a piece of construction paper, and that way it's kind of like a framed picture. Anyways, right now I have this issue of Bust magazine, and you're pretty much gonna look at every page and just find stuff that you either like or stuff that you think looks interesting. Like this, for example, is a picture of an advertisement, and I think it looks cool, and so what I would do is I would just rip it out. Bada bing. I like to look for colorful things, but I also like to look for stuff that I find interesting. This I don't find interesting, but it might be something that catches someone's eye in a collage, so I'll rip that out. And I like to set it all aside, and if anything at all, if I think, for example, like this looks interesting, I'll just rip it out. You don't have to think too hard about it, because you're going to be sitting here cutting everything up, out of the pages, so it's best to just rip out the whole page. Let me also show you here. I have a pile of pages that had something I found interesting or something that I liked. And for example, here was a page, it has a singer, Kat Graham. She's from The Vampire Diaries, one of my favorite shows. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut out her picture. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to use anything else. Always make sure you look at the front and the back of all the pages, and I just put it in my trash bag. Very easy, wasn't that? And then, so I have my little picture of Kat Graham here, and I have a pile of everything that I cut out. Now, one thing I want to show you with this pile is that what's really cool is you can get an idea of what your collage will look like. Now, if you look at this pile, for example, I already had something going. I want to show you real quick. Here's the cast members of that movie Pitch Perfect, and then what I started to do was I had this background here of a woman in a brick wall. I also had a red background of a brick wall, and I just kind of overlapped the pictures here, so it kind of looks like they're in front, in the foreground of a brick wall. That's just something to show you, like how whenever you cut out the things that you like or something that catches your eye, you can kind of incorporate two things into one. Just to kind of give you an example and why it's good to set aside all the things that you put or excuse me, cut out of the magazines, set them aside, and so that way you can start incorporating each thing and also seeing how they can combine and make sense within themselves. Whatever your creative mind comes to you. Hey! Welcome back. So it's been a couple of days. I did a lot of cutting up magazines. Sorry, magazines. I just shredded your magazines these past couple of days. So we have here everything I found interesting, everything I thought was colorful, everything I thought, you know, big words, big letters, you know, small images, everything that caught my fancy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put all these things together, and as you can kind of take a look at the table right now, you can kind of see even everything that's spread out. You can kind of start to get a little bit of a cohesive thought on how you want to put things together. Now obviously when it comes to words, you're not necessarily going to want to use the words that are put together. You might just want to, like I said earlier, use the letters to make your own words or your own sayings. Now what I'm going to do first, I have this larger paper here. This could be my background, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start small and then work my way out. So I'm just going to show you right now the starting off small. I don't want to glue this part down. Okay. Now I lifted up the nails there so that way they're not so much, you know, it's kind of, you want to be able to have things overlapping. That way you don't have things kind of looking out of place. Now this girl here, I'm not necessarily utilizing her. I'm actually, ta-da, covering her up. Alright, so, ta-da. Now from here on out we are not going to glue anything down. So I just want to show you what I will be doing. I found this little weird looking guy, so I'm going to go ahead and put him right here. And then I found this tape measure and I thought that would be kind of funny. Ha 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 ha. And here's some more actresses. And now we want to look for, we have some funny images. I have right here a record. Excuse me. My fingers are kind of sticky. And this image here of the hands. Now you see, I don't really like this here because of the orange. So I'm going to maybe put this behind here. Nah. You see, that's another reason why it's good enough to glue stuff down. That way you can change your mind, like I was saying. Now see, that's pretty funny. And that will be my saying I will utilize. And put that right there. Now it's looking pretty good, huh? Don't you think? Sweet sugar! I thought that was funny. So you see, it's all about kind of just wanting to create with other people's images. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you have inside jokes with these, you know, because it's really, you're just doing it for yourself. So if you think it's funny, that's great. You know, if no one else thinks it's funny, who cares? You're thinking it's hilarious. And so that's all that really matters. You know, you're not necessarily doing it for yourself, or excuse me, you're not necessarily doing it for anyone else. You're just kind of doing it, you know, just to make your bedroom look interesting.